Humanity has always loved art, so much so that we put it in galleries and on the wall, and we show our grandparents our amazing artwork. But what happens when you have art on your skin? A tattoo, right? It's a form of self-expression, a way of showing your inner thoughts, your uniqueness, and yet there's so much negative stigma around it. Our question is why? What's so bad about having a tattoo? Find out in the Documentattooy. The Documentattooy. I'm Tamara, this is the Documentattooy. Enjoy. So, what's your name?
My name is Martha.
Malachi.
My name's Daisy.
My name is Gary.
Nice to meet you. Do you have tattoos?
I do, yes.
How many tattoos do you have?
6.
6.
Just one.
Yes, I do. I've got one. I've got one actual tattoo.
Yeah.
But then I've got like stick and pokes as well. I
Yeah.
don't know if that counts.
I do have a tattoo.
You have?
I have one,
You have
but
one.
I'm planning to get more.
Can we see them?
Yes, I've got these ones on my arm, and then I also got these ones, and this one, and one behind my ear.
I love that.
Yeah, sure.
It's a very nice tattoo, I like that.
Thank you.
Yeah. Right here.
I really like that tattoo, it's really nice. Which one was your first tattoo?
This one here. Got it matching with one of my friends.
I love that.
The first one that I got was I did the little stick and poke there,
Yeah.
and then all the rest followed, and then that's the last one I got.
Why did you choose to get tattoos?
Just fancied it, really.
Fair enough.
Just because I've listened to the artist for quite a couple of years now, so thought I might just get one.
Just because I think they look really cool.
Well, it was my 18th birthday, and I was like, I designed the tattoo for one. It wasn't a tattoo. I just kind of saw. I was like, hey. It was more a tattoo. I wanted that personalised me, so obviously, I wanted to put a bit of a garage spin on it, I guess you could say. So, well, DNA helix, snakes, tree. But I mean, I was planning it to be more, but it was it would have taken longer if I got it. But it was more just so I could look at it and remind myself of like where I've come from.
Do you regret any of the tattoos?
Yes, I regret this one, but I'm getting it covered up soon. And then this one, because it's an M and I work at McDonald's and everyone thinks it's M for McDonald's.
No.
Brilliant.
No, I wouldn't say I regret them.
No, I do not.
Have you ever experienced any stigma against having them?
Yeah, a little bit. I suppose when I got these ones, people would say like, oh, you know, people kind of discriminate in jobs. They discriminate against visible tattoos, so they kind of told me not to get them, but I got them anyway.
Yeah.
No.
Not since having them, but before, I think, from my family, it was like, don't get tattoos because they're ugly and I'll disown you. But then once I got them, they were like, oh, actually, that's not bad.
Yeah.
So.
No, I can't say I have.
Have you experienced any benefits from having tattoos?
Yeah, they're pretty to look at.
Yeah.
Not really. I mean, I worked and they just kept touching my arm all the time. But yeah.
Just think you look cool, and somebody else said like it's a good conversation starter as well sometimes.
It is a good conversation starter when it like people would say they like it, and then, or if they have kind of the same tattoo, they'll comment it, and it's just a good way to talk to people.
Would you recommend getting a tattoo to someone who's on the fence about it?
Yeah, but I'd say definitely think about it first, because I kind of went into it straight away when I was 18, and now I kind of regret some of them. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
I would recommend it to people that are on the fence, but yeah, as the others have said, I would say think about what you want, because just because you want it then doesn't mean you're going to want it later.
Is there any advice you'd like to give someone when they're getting a tattoo for the first time?
Same as what I just said, I think. Just make sure you think about it, you're definitely sure about it.
Yeah, make sure your sugar levels are high, because that's also when pass out.
I think like Martha said, think about it, and also once you have it, make sure you buy a good tattoo moisturiser as well.
Maybe get some numbing cream, could be a good one, and keep your sugar level up, especially if you have a a low pain tolerance.
Yeah, that's all the questions that we have.
Okay, thank you.
Hello, what's your name?
My name is Ocean Gilberway. I'm here to talk about tattooing and tattoo apprenticeships, as that's something I've been aspiring to do for quite a while now.
So how long have you wanted to be a tattoo artist?
So since I was about 14, 15, the idea sort of came to me, but I didn't really put any serious effort in until about last year in September. So it's been about a year and a half I've been designing tattoos and wanting to be a tattoo artist and moving towards that profession.
So what makes you want to become a tattoo artist?
I've always been surrounded with the culture of tattoos and just alternative things like piercings, clothing, jewellery like this. So I've always seen a lot of artists and musicians growing up around the culture. For example, I wear a lot of band t-shirts from like for example this, it's got a lot of edgy stuff on and it's very metal. I've always been into that stuff, so you're already surrounded by people with loads of piercings and people with tattoos, and I've always been drawing, I've always been artistic and creative, so it gives me a good way to get that creativity out.
So what sort of practice goes into becoming a tattoo artist?
Drawing, a lot of drawing, but bear in mind it's only one side of it. There's things to do with clients, putting up with clients, difficult clients, you know, being able to hold a conversation, and you know, because it's a social experience as well as, you know, drawing on someone, tearing their, well, not tearing their skin, but cutting into their skin with a needle. That's something you prepare for, and you know, I'm not even halfway there to being there.
Are there any steps you're taking in terms of professional work to becoming a tattoo artist, and what are they?
So it's at the moment it's just contacting any local tattoo shops, asking if they are willing to train me and help me learn, and I can work for them in return. A lot of the time you won't get paid for the apprenticeship. It's free because they're giving you their time, their money, they're giving up all that for you, whilst all in return I can do is draw and clean their shop, do some jobs around the shop, clean it, look after it, make them tea, make them coffee, get them food, all the things apprentices do, but I'm not making any money out of it. I only start making money out of it when I actually start tattooing people, because then they will pay me to do what they need.
Do you have any tattoos yourself?
I do. Does everyone want to see?
If you want, show us.
Nice. So that moth I designed myself back in I'd say I designed it in March of last year and got it tattooed in about May by the wonderful Steph from Hand of Mysteries in town. Amazing woman, amazing tattoos. I made it quite alternative. It's based off a lot of horror films and music. There's a lot of music related to that. And then just to, you know, add a bit of colour around it, back in November, I got Billy Betts of also Hand of Mysteries in town. It's, you know, it's near all the bus stations and that. It's a lovely shop. I love it. It's my favourite one. He's done like a Japanese inspired piece. Again, I designed this myself, and he's done like all the flowers and petals around it.
If you were going to give somebody a tattoo right now, would you rather be giving it to somebody who's had tattoos before or someone who's never had a tattoo?
It's kind of two things for that one, because if someone's never had a tattoo before and they don't know anything, they probably wouldn't recognise it if it was bad,
Yeah.
so they wouldn't complain. But if it's someone who's got a lot of tattoos, they might realise that I don't know what I'm doing yet. I haven't had the practice. But at the same time, someone who's been through those experiences makes them a very interesting client to talk to, and you know what they like, and you know it's very different. It's difficult to say because, you know, it's two sides of the coin. So I really don't know about that one.
What would you say to somebody who's considering getting their first tattoo?
For those that haven't got a tattoo yet and are looking to get one, that was the question.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I would definitely say think long and hard about what you want. If it's something that you've been interested in a few years, you're probably safe to get that. For example, mine, I've loved that sort of stuff for a long time. Get it in a place you can cover up easily. If you've got a job interview, they won't know you've got the tattoo, so they can't really, you know, be prejudiced against you, which is, you know, it's unfair, but it's the reality of what's happening at the moment. But you know, be safe. Check out your artist, research your artist. There's so many people out there that just go to some guy that sits in his home in tattoos with crappy equipment and doesn't know what he's doing. but if you go to a decent quality tattoo artist, you know, learn to recognise. Expect to pay a lot as well. Don't expect to be cheap. If it's cheap, it's not going to be good. I know a lot of tattoo artists in this town, that are not good. Get something small as well. You don't know how good your pain tolerance is for that sort of stuff. But honestly, it hurts less than you think, in my opinion. And also look at the pain levels in different areas, you know.
Those are all the questions that we have. Thank you so much for being a part
Thank you,
of our
guys.
document- So, hi, I'm Tamara. Nice to meet you. So, how are you?
Not too bad, thank you, not too bad.
Yep. So what's your name and what is your role here?
So my name is Isabella and I am a tattoo artist.
Lovely. How long have you been a tattoo artist?
So I've been tattooing for about a year and a half now. I started in May last year, so that's about how long I've been doing it now.
How many tattoos do you have yourself?
Myself, I think I have around 28 at last count, so a fair few.
What are the notable differences when giving someone their first tattoo compared to someone that has many?
I would say when giving someone their first tattoo, they do tend to be a lot more nervous, which I think is completely understandable because you don't really know what you're getting into. I think those nerves can come from kind of a fear of maybe the pain side of things, but also a little bit of a fear of the unknown, so they don't really know kind of the process, what's going to happen, how it sometimes can happen. And I know that a lot of times I think people in this industry, when they're getting their first tattoos, they worry that people aren't going to be very accommodating, for example, removing stencils, resizing things, so we try and be sort of extra comforting and guide them through what's going to happen when they get their first tattoos.
Is there a part of the body you dislike tattooing on?
I personally, I'm not the biggest fan of tattooing like the neck. I think it's a very tender area, and I know it can be quite a painful area. I don't mind tattooing it, but it's not my favourite place because it can be quite tricky because the skin is very delicate and tender there. So I'm probably go for that. But for a first tattoo, I would usually recommend going for the outer upper arm. I would say it's not the most sensitive area, so it's a really good one to get first tattoo on.
Yeah. So, is there a tattoo size or style you'd recommend to do tattooing?
Okay.
And whereabouts?
Yeah, I would say for people who aren't too sure what they're getting into, if they might be a little bit nervous, I would definitely recommend starting with something a little bit smaller and probably just with like a line work kind of design. So something probably quite simple, not too much colour or shading or anything like that. Because if you're a bit nervous, best to start small and simple, I think. That way you can get a feel for it and figure out what it is you like about it and if it is kind of for you. So that's what I would probably say.
Are there any pros or cons of having tattoos that you don't want to discuss enough?
I think pros are in the sort of artistic expression that it gives you. I think it's a really, really fun way to sort of kind of tell people a little bit about yourself through what you have on your body. And cons, I would say there's kind of the obvious one in that sometimes it can restrict employment opportunities, which I don't think should be a thing. I think as long as, you know, tattoos aren't offensive, they're really not hurting anyone and they don't affect someone's ability to do their job or anything like that. They don't affect someone's ability to be professional, to be intelligent. So I think that is something that definitely could do with discussion more in more kind of like professional corporate communities. So yeah, that's what I would say.
I think those are all the questions that we have.
Lovely.
Thank you.
Thank you, that was fun.
Overall, throughout this documentary, we have learned that tattoos have a certain stigma around them that make people who have tattoos seem like negative and thuggish. But what we've learned is that it's further from the truth, and in reality, people who have tattoos have them as a form of self-expression and to highlight their uniqueness. So are tattoos all that bad? know the stigma is, because mainly older people don't like tattoos, but there's nothing we can do about that. Peace out, homies.